Hey Scruffy, how you doing? So I'm a little bit late tonight, but not outrageously late. And you were sleeping yesterday when I came on time, so I don't know if there's any benefit to getting here early. So you're still not meowing, so I guess you're not that hungry. So I have your hearty cuts with real chicken and beef with Meow Mix and Kirkland kibble. Chicken and rice, I think it is. So you ready for food? You're kind of away from the door, so I guess you don't have to back up. Okay, I guess I'll just bring out the food. Okay, so I'm gonna open the door now. Coming out. Got your food on the table. Get water. Okay, so change the water now. And put your new water in. Okay. And then grab the glove and sit in the chair. Okay, a little slower today. Yeah, that's all right. So it was warm / borderline hot today. So I didn't see any cats out, including Scruffy. So I had no idea where Scruffy was. So I guess they all took cover to get out of the sun. So I tried to go for a run today. I don't know if that was a good idea. Feels a little bit like a mistake because it was so hot. So it really felt like early summer instead of spring. So I was out in my lightest running clothes. Didn't need any sweaters or long pants or anything like that. And the wind died down, so there wasn't really any breeze. And I could feel this heat and the sun on me. Definitely made it a point to wear a lot of sunscreen. And already in the first lap, I could feel the heat bearing down on me, and knew the heat was going to be a problem for me. So the first 2 laps that I ran, definitely was feeling the heat. However, to my surprise, I actually managed to keep a respectable time despite the heat. But then in the 3rd lap, that's when I started really feeling the impact. So 3rd lap, I was definitely struggling. Managed to complete my 3rd lap, which is 5 miles, in total. And I was, yeah, my time started dropping off. Wasn't a terrible time though. Still, overall, one of my better times. Definitely not one of my top times. But the fourth and final lap, that was a disaster. So I really fell off the cliff there and didn't do well at all. So a lot of places they had to basically start walking and I start running again, and then basically anytime there was a little bit of shade, I ended up walking just so I could kind of cool down and rest in the shade. So my overall time was back down to one of my worst times for doing 4 laps. I don't have that many times, so because I only started doing 4 laps probably less than a month ago. So that's 6.66 miles. So, so I made it. But yeah, that last lap was kind of a disaster. And in retrospect, I probably should have waited till the very end of the day when the sun was starting to set. Because yeah, I think I ran in probably the hottest part of the day. Afternoon when the heat has been building up. And so, yeah, I didn't see any other feral or stray cats. They're all in hiding. Saw a lot of squirrels out though. A lot of them were dashing in front of me, crossing the trail, and running in the holes in the ground. And there's one squirrel chirping. I don't think I've actually seen that before in person. Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing a squirrel chirp. At first I wasn't sure if the squirrel was actually making the noise or not, but when I was watching him, he was making kind of motions and kind of twitching as so it looked like the sound was coming from him. But yeah, the sound, I don't know what a squirrel is supposed to sound like, I guess, but I didn't expect that sound to come from a squirrel. So yeah. Tomorrow, I forgot to check the latest weather report, but tomorrow is supposed to continue heating up. So I'm thinking I'm going to take my recovery day tomorrow. I haven't done pull-ups since my last recovery day, so I probably should do those. I need to do more push-ups. I'm getting lazy on the push-ups recently. I missed the gym. Used to use do the bench press type stuff. And then I basically skipped the push-ups because it's like, well, I'm doing the bench press. I don't need to do the push-ups. But still doesn't look like I'm going to get a vaccine anytime soon. They're still in shortage and still rationing for high priority people. So I'm low priority. getting into it there. So I thought he'd be bored by now, because it's about food time. So I was about to finish this up, but yeah, he went for another power stroke. Okay, he's starting to settle down here, so I think I'll... spoke too soon, but yeah, I think I'm going to feed him. So it's a little bit on the later side. I haven't eaten yet, so I'm actually kind of hungry. I've actually been hungry abnormally, so I think for the last several days, for some reason, yeah, I've just been craving more food, and I'm trying to fight myself from snacking or overeating because I'm on a diet. So, but yeah, I've been struggling a lot more trying not to eat than say the previous week. Okay, we're over time, Scruffy. I know you're doing pretty well with the pets right now, but I think I want to feed you. Okay, so how about last one here? Okay. Okay, let's get your food. Okay, so you keep moving over to my right. So, okay, so I got the brush. And it's going through pretty smoothly. His tail's the only part that's kind of difficult. So I've been trying to catch up in my... Wow. Made kind of a sound chewing on that food there. Guess he's really getting into the food. So I was saying, yeah, I've been trying to get caught up in a lot of paperwork and bookwork and taxes and all that related stuff. So my main personal taxes are about done, and my dad's stuff is about done. So the damage was pretty big. Well, it's all relative, but I was expecting it to be very small just because of all the lockdowns, and I didn't think much was going to happen, and then the bad economy. But some of his mutual funds, just went crazy this year with the stock market, and basically they created all sorts of taxable events. So it kind of sucks in the way the tax system works. So basically you can have like massive tax liabilities even if you don't make money. So when a mutual fund like crashes, people start selling like crazy to get the money out. Well, this requires the fund to sell the shares that are owned in the fund, and the way the tax system works is the mutual fund has to report all those shares that were sold, and if they bought those shares cheaper, basically it's a capital gains event and it's taxable. But those taxes are passed on to the individuals. So even though if you just held the fund and you weren't one of the people selling, because the fund itself had to redeem shares, you, the person who didn't panic and didn't panic sell and held on to everything, you're stuck with a tax bill, which really sucks. So basically you see your fund go down, and then you get a whole bunch of taxable events which you got to pay for on top of that, and it's just evil. So, so a big chunk of my dad's related stuff fell into that category. So I'm not a happy camper with that. So I think I'm done with the brush. So the next thing I need to do is my business taxes. So my personal taxes are done for the most part, and then my dad's stuff, that's done. But my business taxes I need to still file, even though basically the government here has destroyed my business. So on one hand, that makes my taxes actually fairly simple because there's really nothing to report. Basically, I put all zeros on the form, but they still want the form anyway. And then on top of that, the other evil thing is the state and local governments here are evil, and they charge a flat base tax. So in addition to taking a percentage of your earnings, which I don't have any, they also still have a minimum flat base rate you got to pay. So I still owe the government, like $1,000 or something like that for the privilege of basically being forced out of business. But the fact that I had a business, I have to pay money. And technically, I still have the business. I haven't closed it yet, but I think I'm going to have to close it this year, which sucks. And so that's another reason why it's all connected to why I'm moving or thinking about moving, because basically I can't conduct business here anymore. So I can't make a living. So another thing I was working on was the options trading stuff. So it's one of the things I can do in isolation, and I have enough savings where I can try to play the market. And with the market going crazy right now, just basically money pumping from the government and the Fed, and kind of implicit assumption that the Fed has everyone's back, seems like I'm being coerced to play the market because I'm not allowed to work. So basically take your stimulus check if you get one, which unfortunately actually I don't get one because I screwed myself over with, well, I didn't screw myself over, it's just those taxable events that I was talking about earlier. They actually disqualified me. There was enough of a tax hit that I actually crossed the threshold, I think. Anyway, and unfortunately, in reality, all I have is red lines and red ink. But the way the tax system works, it makes me look like I made a lot of money this year, even though these are all losses. So, wow, I don't know what got in Scruffy's ants there. Just me laughing, scare him. But anyway, yeah, everyone's taking their stimulus checks and take it to the casino, aka the stock market. So I was looking into opening an account with TD Ameritrade. I've been playing with their desktop client, Thinkorswim, and I kind of like it. So I really find the web browsers clunky, and so I really kind of like having a desktop client. And been doing some paper trading with it, and I mentioned I've enrolled in a professional course, so I'm taking it very seriously because I do know I can lose money and I can seriously hurt myself. So I'm trying to educate myself. So if I do this, it's trying to give myself an edge so I can actually win at the casino. But one thing I found out today was applying for an options trading account with TD Ameritrade's kind of a pain in the butt. So basically every brokerage they have different levels of options trading because different levels you can really hurt yourself. And so they basically need to protect themselves by limiting the higher level access to people who look like they know what they're doing or are basically not going to sue them. Unfortunately, I'm kind of starting from scratch here, so they put me in the most conservative category, and I want to do things that are not necessarily considered conservative based on all the training or education I've been learning. And so I found out TD Ameritrade has an online quiz. It's actually 6 quizzes you got to take. And I just did the first quiz, and it's a pretty lengthy quiz. They expect you to take the whole course, so they have like a 6-part course, and then you have to go through all these questions in between, and then at the end of each section, then you take a massive qualifying quiz. And so that's why I was a little late to dinner tonight, because I was taking that first quiz, and that's a doozy. It was a long one. I passed, no problem, but I got 5 more quizzes to do, so more work I gotta do. And I neglected my Spanish practice today because I was taking that stupid quiz. So I don't know where Scruffy went, but I think he's left. So I guess that's it for today. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.